Joining us now, House Majority Leader, Louisiana Congressman Steve Scalise. Mr. Leader, good to see you. Thanks for being with us. I got to tell you what, this really burns me. We, all of us, all three of us, our viewers, we all knew that this was a climate change bill, not an Inflation Reduction Act bill. But the problem was that the administration was lying to the American people who were suffering under sky-high inflation, and they said they packaged a bill that was going to do nothing to reduce inflation but drive inflation up, but then tell you it's an inflation reducer. What say you about at least Joe Biden coming clean on this horrible climate bill?
Yeah, Sean Duggan, great to be with you. And look, if that bill, if it was a bill of yours that had passed and done so much damage to the middle class and the American people, you'd want to forget the name of it too, like Joe Biden's trying to. But you can't change the name. We all know what it was. And in fact, Kamala Harris cast the deciding vote to pass that bill. And that was the bill, Inflation Reduction Act, over $1 trillion, not $350 billion. The math actually matters here. Over $1 trillion of money we didn't have. And that started driving the inflation that's killing the middle class today. That's raising your costs at the grocery store, at the gas station, everywhere else. And so they passed it. It's failed. Now they're trying to repackage it, rename it. It's kind of like when they say Kamala wasn't the border czar because she's done such a horrible job with the border. She's trying to change her positions on every issue because she's wrong on every issue. The American people aren't buying it. And so this is ultimately, you're going to see a lot of this at the debate next week, I think, with President Trump, when he's able to confront her on a lot of these, misnomers, lies, whatever you want to call them. But, people know what these bills have done to them. It has gutted the middle class.
Yeah, you're struggling under inflation, but here's some subsidies to go buy an electric vehicle you can't afford. How much of that, really quickly before we move on, how much money is sitting out there to be clawed back by the Republicans?
Oh, it's billions, tens or if not hundreds of billions, and we're looking at every dime because that's something that we want to claw back. And by the way, if you claw that back, that will help lower inflation. That's one of the many things we will do to get inflation under control and to get our economy back on track very quickly in the first 100 days if we elect President Trump and then get a Republican House and Senate.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, let's move to this, Steve. The threat to us overseas, basically from China, as we can see there. Republican leadership expected to bring up a package of China-related bills when the House resumes session next week. Some of those proposed measures aim to end Chinese dominance of EVs in America, protecting American agriculture from foreign adversaries, protect American innovation and economic security from the CCP, no foreign election Interference Act. So, Steve, a good set of bills. Again, I think most Americans agree China is a threat. What are the prospects that Democrats are going to join you and you can pass this package of bills and send it over to the Senate?
The closer we get to the election, it's interesting when you see a lot of these races that are tightening up. All of a sudden, you're seeing Democrats try to start talking like Republicans. Nobody's buying it again because they don't believe it because it's not true. But let them give them the opportunity. I mean, look, the EVs, $7,500 to buy EVs, as Kamala and others want to mandate that. Most Americans don't want EVs. They're not even buying them. And yet we're spending tens of billions of dollars on that mandate. We should get rid of it. China buying up our farmland. We're hearing this is a major problem all over the country. Some states have actually passed state laws to prohibit it. We're going to have a federal prohibition on the CCP buying up our farmland. There's a number of other things, the Confucius Institutes, where CCPs get involved, and our higher ed institutes. That's one of the many reasons why higher ed is in such disarray right now. We're prohibiting that as well. So there's a lot of really good bills. It's going to be a really important debate. I want to see how everybody votes.
Congressman, real quick, how's it looking for the Republicans in the House? Keeping the majority? Because I know that one of your ilk came out and said he thought that the Republicans would lose the House.
Yeah, and I disagree with that. In fact, I'm actually on the road. I just got back from a big swing on the West Coast where we have a number of seats in states like California. You go to the East Coast in states like New York, and then obviously the swing states, Pennsylvania, Michigan, others, where we have a lot of opportunities to flip seats from Democrat to Republican. And so I was on the road helping our incumbents who are in these battleground races, as well as the seats we have a chance to flip. I mean, there's 2 seats we have a real chance to flip just in the state of California to flip from Democrat to Republican. So, if you sit back home and you just read a lot of the fake news, you probably get depressed. If you actually go out there on the ground, there's huge enthusiasm for Republicans growing the majority and for Donald Trump becoming our next president.
We're going to keep watching. Leader Steve Scalise, thanks for being with us, and good luck on the road. Stay safe.
Thank you, Leader.